Welcome to the deep dive. We looked into those articles you sent about fertility apps. Really interesting stuff.
Yeah, definitely more going on than just tracking your cycle.
For sure. It seems like millions of people are using them.
Yeah.
And, well, you asked us to unpack what's really happening behind the screen.
It goes way beyond personal tracking.
It really does. So today, we're diving into how these pretty ubiquitous tools are kind of reshaping knowledge, science, even who we think of as the experts in reproductive health.
And how they're using all that data.
Exactly. What does it all mean for you, the user? Okay, so let's start unpacking this. Your sources point out these apps aren't just some, brand new invention out of nowhere.
No, not at all. They're essentially digitizing fertility awareness methods that have been around for decades.
Like tracking basal body temperature, that kind of thing.
Precisely. But what's really fascinating now is the automation, the personalization they bring.
How so?
Well, take the Aura Ring, for instance. It
Yeah.
syncs up with natural cycles, tracks temperature continuously while you sleep. Yeah, aiming for much, much greater precision than, just remembering to take your temp every morning.
Right, that makes sense. But here's where it gets a bit more complicated, according to the articles. Not all apps are the same, are they?
Not even close. Some still rely on the less accurate calendar method.
Which can be risky if you're using it for contraception, potentially.
Exactly. It could lead to unwanted pregnancies. And then on the flip side, for people trying to conceive, these apps can't actually fix underlying fertility problems. So sometimes users might feel like, oh, I'm tracking wrong, when that's not the issue at all.
That's a tough situation.
It really is. And connecting this to the bigger picture, traditionally, these fertility awareness methods, they often faced a lot of skepticism.
Right, because of historical failure rates or maybe links to certain religious views.
Yes, exactly. So these apps, they're really trying hard to gain legitimacy. They market themselves as science-backed.
For some have even got FDA clearance, like for contraception, natural cycles, Clue.
That's right. It's a big deal for them getting that official nod. It signals credibility.
But then what does science-backed data actually mean in this space? Your sources suggest it's, well, a bit messy.
It is. There isn't a strong regulatory consensus on what proof is needed. And kind of surprisingly, companies have even publicly criticized each other's data submissions to regulators.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And adding another layer, some apps, like one called Fem, have faced scrutiny over ties to anti-abortion groups.
Okay, so that definitely raises questions about whether their scientific claims are truly neutral.
It certainly casts some doubt for critics, yet even with all that, these apps are, without a doubt, producing new knowledge on a massive scale.
How so? Like what kind of knowledge?
Well, Flow, for example, worked with Northwestern University. They analyzed their user data, huge amounts of it, and created what they describe as the largest known PCOS dataset, polycystic ovary syndrome.
The largest known dataset from an app company.
Exactly. That's a huge shift, right? Usually that kind of large-scale health data collection would be done by, medical researchers or public health institutions.
So this really changes the game for who the experts are, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It used to be researchers, doctors, collecting data systematically.
And now you have these app companies, often led by people with tech or data backgrounds, like the founder of Natural Cycles has a PhD in physics, not medicine. They're becoming major players, major stakeholders in health knowledge.
But that comes with challenges, too.
Definitely. Your sources mention one instance where a company actually sued an epidemiologist.
Sued them? Why?
For criticizing their efficacy study. So that obviously raises concerns about independent scientific scrutiny, Can researchers freely question the data if they risk getting sued?
That's a serious concern. But it's not all just companies and researchers, is it? What about the users themselves?
That's another fascinating angle. While some doctors might still be skeptical about app accuracy or data privacy, these tools are also empowering users in new ways. Some apps, like Kindara, have built-in communities.
Communities?
Like forums. Yeah, where users share their fertility charts, give each other advice, interpret patterns. It's really amplifying that kind of lay knowledge exchange.
So users are becoming more like active participants in creating health knowledge, not just passive recipients.
Absolutely. They're generating the data, interpreting it, sharing insights. It's a much more networked way of producing knowledge.
So, looking at everything we've unpacked from your sources, these fertility apps aren't just simple digital diaries.
Not at all. They're acting as powerful mediators. They're actively reshaping how we understand reproductive health, who gets to create that understanding, and critically, how that knowledge is seen as legitimate or trustworthy.
It's such a strange mix, isn't it? These very natural body-based methods meeting really high-tech data-driven science.
It's a definite paradox, and it leaves us with some important questions to think about. Well, as these technologies get woven more and more tightly into our intimate lives, our health decisions, how much public scrutiny, how much traditional medical oversight are we willing to trade for that convenience, for that personalized data?
That's a really crucial point. What's the balance?
Exactly. And maybe even bigger picture. What are the long-term implications of all this for how we even define and understand health itself?